Hey, you're watching Fat Man, you dingus.
Whatever he said.
This is your boy. It's Fat Man. All right, check it. Salt Bay's empire is starting to collapse. Personally, Salt Bay was the nigga that did the salt shit like that, and I was like, is it Salt Bay or Salt Bay? Or I don't know, like Bay or Bay, like at the bay, like at the seaport bay, whatever the fuck, right? Let's check this out.
Restaurant closures, rapidly declining reviews, and his lowest growth on Instagram in over 6 years. Things have gone from bad to worse for Salt Bay, which has been—
I'm like, personally, if you are just a gimmick, you should have took your money, the restaurants, and you should have fucking did something better, I think. Because this dude is just a clown. He's a joke. He's just a gimmick. And people fell for the gimmick. Like, why would you fall for the gimmick of a nigga who can't cook steak and doesn't even work at his restaurants and just hires impersonators? Come the fuck on. My friend tried his restaurant, and I'm like, I think that shit might have been nasty. I'm not gonna pay $600 for nothing. Not me.
best observed by looking at each controversy up until this unfavorable point. His first time in hot water came just months after Salt Bay first went viral, occurring when fans scrolled back through his Instagram to find this photo commemorating the life of Fidel Castro.
Well, that's where you take the L for me.
In the days after his death. At around the same time, Salt Bay had recently opened a steakhouse in Miami, a city to which approximately 500,000 Cubans had fled to as a result of Castro's leadership. Some people just don't think. To post pics like this and then open a restaurant in Miami. Really? I just called and cancelled 2 reservations and told them how I feel about their salt guy and his post. Picture posted a few days after Castro's death. Nice thought, WTF. He should open—
He probably was he could have been mocking Castro, or he could have been doing anything else, but interesting.
in Cuba and sprinkle his salt over there. The comments on the post itself echoed a similar sentiment, leading Salt Bay to remove the picture. However, he'd find himself in a similar controversy less than a year later. In September 2018, Salt Bay came under scrutiny once again for providing a feast to the Venezuelan president, who governs a country in which 64% of people have reported losing significant amounts of weight, 11 kilos or 24 pounds on average, amid worsening food shortages.
See, at this point, I don't expect him to use his brain because he's like, I got paid. It's publicity for me. Now, once again, last video, good publicity, that's bad publicity equals good publicity, but not all publicity is good publicity. In other words, this ain't good for you at all. Like, this don't spread your image well. Even though if he got paid for it as a gig, he didn't give a fuck. Oh, I got paid. I don't care. I don't care who the fuck he is. I'm getting paid. If he did it for free, stupid. But also, there's people starving and you didn't realize this.
As a Venezuelan, it angers me seeing my president feasting on a meal while me and my family were starving. I cannot believe this video. This guy eating tomahawk steaks or whatever that is, and the people from his country dying of hunger. Food tastes so much better when you know the folks back home are starving.
Oh, that's a crazy take. That's crazy. This steak is delicious. I'm so sorry that poor child down the block is dying. I love this tomahawk steak. It's pink in the center, just like my wife's pussy.
After the Venezuelan president then explained that Salt Bay had personally invited him to the restaurant, protests broke out.
Oh. And what if that's not true? And the president just did that to get you the fuck off my back? Imagine the president was like, you know, I didn't, you know, he invited me out, so the blame goes to him. Politics is a bitch. I would have been like, I asked him to be my guest. I didn't really know nothing about him. I just wanted to get a fancy person in the seat. I had to do my research. I just knew he was the president of Venezuela, and I heard Venezuela's a nice place. I would have just played dumb at that point, because nigga, this makes you look bad.
Out in front of Salt Bay's Miami restaurant, with one sign reading, "Did you know, Salt Bay, that in the time it took you to wine and dine dictator Maduro with your bloody meat, at least one Venezuelan child died of extreme malnutrition?" However, this might not have even been Salt Bay's biggest controversy for the month. Only 8 days after these protests, a new article—
He said, no, this ain't it. Let me pull out the big guns.
was posted reading, 4 tourists are set on fire at Instagram star Salt Bay's Istanbul restaurant.
4 tourists are set on fire at Instagram star Salt Bay's restaurant. What? How?
Which had happened as a result
How do you get set on fire?
of a fire show gone wrong. One of the tourists who'd been set on fire was a Czechoslovakian YouTuber and model named Tina Stresnikova, who suffered burns to more than 35% of her body.
Oh, you can see, is that a burn? Does she have hair on her knuckles? Are those burns? I can't tell. Those look like burns.
And can be seen with slight but visible burn scars on her Instagram even till this
girl.
day. Her 23-minute video on the topic, translating to "the moment that changed my life," is unfortunately spoken in Czechoslovakian without subtitles. However, an article posted a year after the incident stated that Tinus had received no compensation for the mistake, and that the restaurant had instead destroyed all evidence related to the incident.
Listen, I'm not laughing the way you think I'm laughing. I'm laughing like that's crazy. Because that's bad publicity. And what's worse is you set somebody on fire and I bet money you didn't even get sued. So, oh my God. I would have sued this nigga. I would have been rich. I would have owned half his restaurants and then sold them and then pocketed the money.
Salt Bay did eventually pay out $230,000 in compensation, although not to Tinus for permanently altering her appearance, but rather to 4 mistreated employees in Salt Bay's next big controversy.
Wait, shame on you, Salt Bay. Does Chef Nirazad cooks the world famous internet sensation known as Salt Bay have a problem with treating workers fairly? I believe that. His second restaurant in NYC opened today at the... interesting. I think my friend ate there. Restaurant being built by Apple.
The 4 employees claimed that Salt Bay was taking 3% from their total tips, which was followed by Salt Bay firing the...
Why the fuck is he taking 3% of my tips? I should be getting all of my tips. The house shouldn't be taking my money. If I'm working for you and I'm getting paid tip. Servers and waitresses get paid in tips. Yeah, they get an hourly, but that hourly is like $8, some shit. And it's shitty as hell. Like, maybe, I'm gonna say, last time I worked, they said they were getting paid an hourly amount and they were getting paid in tips. When people don't pay you in tips, it's crazy. I learned at like iPick, some people who didn't want to do their work, I'd be like, yeah, I got you. And they would look at me and say, yo, can you clean that? I'm like, bro, we got a lot of shit to do. Can you clean this for me, please? Because I'll give you a tip. I'm like, tip? Yeah. Oh, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. Like, because a tip, man, tip me. Shit, because I know workers that were getting a lot of tips at iPick. And shit, some workers would be like, yo, I'll pay y'all $10 each just to help me out here. I'd be like, all right, nigga, I got you right now. Boop, 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 boop. And all you gotta do is come back and wipe it down and bam. Somebody didn't do that, so it made me look bad. But still, regardless, ouch.
The 4 employees after being confronted about it. As a result, the employees launched a wrongful termination lawsuit, explaining that their former boss had an authoritarian, dictatorial attitude who doesn't care about local laws. They even suggested Salt Bay likened himself to Tony Montana and humiliated them on occasions in the lawsuit. Yet Salt Bay responded by stating, I don't get a share of the employees' tips. I've never done that in any of my restaurants. I was not satisfied with the performance of the 4 employees. They didn't match my understanding of work. They weren't as good as I wanted, so I terminated their contract right away. Yet they
weren't as good as you wanted, so did you not train them in the way that you wanted them to be, you stupid bitch? This is the one thing that comes back to being a person who's worked a long time in the retail industry. If you train somebody, they're going to do how you train them. If you tell them my expectation for you is to take my training and do better than this, that is what you should be telling your employees off the bat. You don't just be like, all right, you're hired, here's a contract, go serve the food. You don't do that. You take them through a training. You have to train employees to know what the fuck you want. You can't just be like, oh, you don't stack up to what I want. Okay.
His 4 employees weren't the only ones claiming that they'd been mistreated while working for Salt Bae. A former employee at the Nusret restaurant in London described it as gold from the outside but shit from the inside, whilst another compared the working environment to the Hunger Games, as staff never knew if they'd be fired during a shift, with a third likening the restaurateur to a dictator. Former employee Frank DeFano stated that he was treated poorly as a result of being American, while another former manager explained his world was nothing but Instagram and fame. The sensation was him. He ended up getting this godlike complex, highlighting Salt Bae's next big problem. With massive artworks of his one viral moment, and every third Instagram picture being him working out shirtless, it seems Salt Bae is just a bit too full of himself, and while some degree of ego might be necessary for success, he takes it to a whole new level. When interviewed by The Times in 2019, Salt Bae seemed convinced that every kid wanted to be him, stating, "Now everybody wants to be a butcher because of me. Now if you ask a kid, they want to be Salt Bae. They see me as an idol. I'm an inspiration to a lot of people in a very short period of time."
This nigga's dumb. And that's called big ass ego and a stupid brain. Because think about it. Think about it. You are doing all this salt shit, butchering up food, doing all this, doing all that. Cappuccino, all that shit. That's you. But then you never somehow step back for a second and be like, wow, people are really loving my videos. People are really liking the way I cut shit up as a butcher. I like it. Sweet. This is beautiful. I love it. Are you telling me for a single second you think that you're iconic? You're an idol? No, nigga. You're a fad. You're a trend. You are only here temporary. And you made your fucking house and you thought it was gonna last forever. You made it out of straw and a little bit of wood. You didn't even make it out of brick. You didn't even use concrete. You didn't even use steel. You stupid fucking loser. So I'm gonna step back for a second and tell you this, that you, just like what did Lord Jamar say about Eminem? You're a guest. You're a guest on the internet. And you're a guest in the real world. So stop being a guest and learn that this is called temporary fame. That temporary fame will get you fucked up. Will get you fucked up. Eminem's not a guest in hip hop. He's a fucking icon and legend. You are a guest on the internet and a guest in people's minds. People forgot about you a long time ago. I didn't even know you had a restaurant. I didn't even know you were a chef or just a nigga chopping up meat and throwing salt on it. So what gives you the right to have such a big ego? Is because people inflated it. People be like, I wish I would try this guy's food. People lied to you and you fell for the lie.
Also always taking the opportunity to brag about money. Salt Bae had posted an $8,000 bill as well as a different $47,000 bill, yet the picture that really kicked up a stink was the $167,000 bill posted to Salt Bae's Instagram with the title "Quality Never Expensive." The opulent bill mixed with his arrogant description prompted comments such as, "I have eaten in your restaurant, quality is questionable, and I've eaten there, the food was not good," with this sentiment being echoed by countless different people. YouTube channel Google Foods ordered the $2,000 steak before stating this:
"It was not what we expected. For $2,000, I gotta say, I thought it would be way bigger."
Also adding that the $275 tomahawk steak had been cooked incorrectly.
"That was rare even though we ordered medium rare. Now there's nothing wrong with rare steak, but if you order medium rare, you should get what you paid for."
Exactly. I've been at a restaurant when I ordered fucking well done, and the shit came back to me pink still somehow. I'm like, bitch, I spent money on this. What the fuck you talking about? Take it back. Give me a new steak. The fuck? This is very evident that this man is just all talk, and his restaurants and the people cooking are just idiots. And he's the biggest one of them. And everybody else who bought into his hype, I know y'all niggas ain't getting paid enough. I bet the people that worked at his restaurant eventually were just like, this nigga's a bitch. Like, I could crack him in the skull.
Different YouTuber UA Eats, who was looking to give a purely objective review, stated that the waiter's performance was fun, yet the quality of the food was no better than any other steakhouse. On TripAdvisor, Salt Bae's London restaurant is ranked at 15,200 out of 15,700 restaurants.
Nigga, your shit is just nasty.
Restaurants, with its rating of 2.5 stars, making it worse than 96.8% of all other restaurants in the city. The steakhouse features predominantly terrible and one-star reviews, with most complaining about horrible quality, bad service, and so incredibly expensive for such a bad quality of food. This guy was upset after the restaurant charged him 44 British pounds for 4 Red Bulls. However, at least he didn't call the police after finding out the price, which is what happened over in Florida. Whilst eating at Salt Bay Steakhouse in Miami, Dwayne Miranda ordered 2 standard $275 tomahawk steaks, yet he was instead unknowingly presented with 2 golden tomahawk steaks, being charged more than $5,000 for his meal when he...
Nigga, it's just tomahawk with gold leaf. The fuck are you charging that much for? The gold leaf is not even that expensive. It's not even real gold. The fuck?
Eventually got to the counter. We ordered 2 tomahawk steaks and a rack of lamb for the table. When the bill came, we were shocked by the total. They insisted that we ordered the golden option and charged us $1,000 for each. We absolutely did not order that option. Although we did eat what was brought to the table thinking this was the normal presentation for our order, it was clear that the waiter was trying to take advantage of the situation.
Scamming. Niggas was out here scamming. What? Niggas was like, the waiter was sitting there like, excellent. We're going to overcharge them for something they did not want, and they're going to believe this is what they ordered. Are you fucking kidding me?
After disputing the misunderstanding with management, they decided to involve local law enforcement rather than do the right thing. We paid the disputed $5,000 bill to avoid further conflict.
Nah, I would have said, I didn't order that. You sent it to my table. Check my receipt. That's not what I ordered. So I'm not paying this. I'm gonna pay exactly what the fuck I ordered, and I'm gonna leave. Peace. You can't get your food back, but you can't get your money. What I paid for is what I paid for. It's not what I ordered. I'm gonna pay for what I ordered. You gave me this with gold around it, which was subpar.
Yet this was still minor in comparison to what happened at Salt Bay Steakhouse in Boston.
Boston. I'm sorry.
After opening up on the 18th of September 2020, the restaurant quote,
"This is what I talk about. It was a fad. It was a fucking gimmick, and people fell for it. And these people hyped his fucking brain up. Let's go back.
Boston. After opening up on the 8th..."
You see that? You see all these fucking people? A gimmick. A fad. Manufactured as fuck. And you think these people wanting to eat your food is delicious? No, they want the gimmick. So they can take pictures for their Instagram, they can boast about how they went to his restaurant, and they'll never go back there again because his food is fucking disgusting. This man believed his hype. He believed his hype. And his restaurant closed.
18th of September 2020, the restaurant quote almost immediately began racking up health code violations.
Oh, really?
City inspectors reported that COVID-19 safety guidelines were being flouted, crowds were not social distancing, 2 fire exits were blocked, permits were not in order, the dishwasher was not running hot enough, and the refrigerators were apparently too cold, leading the government to shut the restaurant down only 1 week after opening. In the meantime, Salt Bay posted this seemingly wholesome family photo to his Instagram, yet this would also end in another wave of criticism. Turkey chef Salt Bay meets mother after 2 years, criticized for not looking after her. It seems Salt Bay was getting loads of backlash in every situation, regardless of whether or not he deserved it. For example, when a waiter at one of his restaurants accidentally dropped a steak, Salt Bay was getting roasted in the comments by people saying that he was going to charge them twice. People simply didn't like him, so when he'd actually do something deplorable in December 2022, the whole world took it as a chance to completely and utterly destroy him. After Argentina beat France in the World Cup final, Salt Bay waltzed onto the field as if he was everybody's best friend.
Yeah, he was dumb. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's on the fucking field doing stupid shit. And I don't know, like, what are you doing, bro?
He pestered Messi for a photo, snatched the World Cup from a baby, and bit down on one of the winner's medals, prompting negative comment after negative comment, as well as an instant response from the media who wrote, "Salt Bay was pathetically thirsty to get World Cup selfies and pissed off Argentina in the process." Only a day later, the FIFA president unfollowed Salt Bay on Instagram.
The FIFA president unfollowed you because you're a fucking idiot.
Before launching an investigation.
How you gotta be that dumb for the FIFA president to be like, Homer Simpson. He gone?
Into how Salt Bae was allowed on the field, revealing that only the World Cup winners and heads of state are allowed to touch the trophy during the closing ceremony, let alone kiss and disrespect
that was not him.
The next day, Salt Bae tried to show that he and Messi were friends by posting a video of them together in his steakhouse. However, comments such as "old video where Messi made a mistake visiting your restaurant" showed that fans definitely weren't buying it. Excluding this video, Salt Bae provided no response to his World Cup behavior until just 1 month ago, when he'd finally talk about the event in a tell-all interview. He stated, "It was a combination of my love of Argentina and my excitement. I love Argentina, I've lived there. I went to support them. Many of the team have come to the restaurant. I didn't feel a stranger, it was a special moment. I can't do anything about the reason I was there."
It wasn't your special moment. Yeah, the team came to your restaurant, but they didn't sit down, eat food with you. They didn't invite any of these niggas to your house. They did none of that shit. Like, there's a difference saying that it's a special moment and half the team has come to your restaurants to feeling a special moment. Oh, I love Argentina. These are just cop-outs and excuses for you to be like, oh, I can be on the field, I can fuck with them. They've been to my restaurants, you know. That's just a give and take scenario. You're a business. They're also a business, but they're physically athletes. You're a business. That's a give and take situation. That's all that is. There's nothing else there but just a barter system of money and food, and you showing up at my games don't mean shit. If I had a restaurant, I'd be like, hey, what's up, man? Thanks for coming, blah, blah, blah. Hope you enjoyed the food. Yeah. And the fucking famous celebrity was like, it was real pricey for me, though. I don't know why it was so pricey. I'd be like, okay. Well, next time might be different. Come on a certain day, have some specials. Whatever. But you don't just show up there and be like, well, I know them, and get the fuck out of here. Just slap your ass.
There, but I would never ever step on the World Cup pitch again. There were 2 billion people watching the World Cup. How many people are speaking about me? 5 billion, the whole world. I didn't go on the pitch with the purpose of advertising. I just felt like it. Then there was a bit of a surprise. There were at least another 1,000 people on the pitch, but when they show the video, they make out it was just me.
Yeah, there was other people on the pitch, but that's other teams, the people that are supposed to be there, and then there's you, who's not supposed to be there.
Never ever wanted to overshadow anything. I didn't like the attention, with the possible motive for the explanation being that things haven't been going so well for Salt Bae ever since that day. Just 2 weeks prior to giving that interview, Salt Bae had to close down his self-titled Salt Bae Burger restaurant in New York City, which had gained a reputation for selling $99 gold-flaked milkshakes and a $100 burger wrapped in gold foil.
Yeah, no one's buying that. No one's buying that. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick restaurant, and I'm not going to it.
On top of this, it's been...
I didn't even go to this. I think my friend went to his regular restaurant where they serve the food and they chop it up for you and they do the shit. But that's it. That's the gimmick.
Reported that Salt Bae Steakhouse in Greece is now receiving a third of the bookings it used to, from 600 per day to approximately 200 per day, while his London steakhouse, which we discussed earlier as having some of the worst reviews in the city, recently announced that they'd be reducing their prices in, quote, what appears to be a desperate bid to entice customers back through its doors. Over the last 6 months...
Yeah, you're gonna reduce your prices if you're not making money. And management is gonna have to fucking deal with that. He owns the business, and he can at any point just be like, oh well, it failed. I'm gonna do something again, blah blah blah. But he'll never be famous the way he was. He won't. His fame dipped. His net worth dipped.
Salt Bae has gained approximately 300,000 followers per month, and while this is still a bafflingly high number for someone who seemingly does very little, this is the lowest growth he's had on social media since first blowing up in January 2017.
Alright, so my mic fucking died, which I have to do this again, which is gonna be a little shorter. Honestly, Short Bae. Honestly, Salt Bae is a fad. The fact that he stood around for so long is just baffling to me. Just because people thought he made good food and it looked appealing, he did the salt shit. That fad and trend motherfucker stood on. And you don't know the person behind these interactions. Like, why the fuck you lying, dude? He followed me for a bit, then unfollowed me. Like a bougie bitch. A lot of the niggas who do these one-liners, these one good little moments, they're just honestly And I don't want to lie to you, they're just one-hit fucking people. If you want consistency and good energy, check out a lot of the YouTubers out there that have been consistent, right? Logan Paul was one of those fucking, hi guys, hyperactive motherfuckers. He was a gimmick at a long time. Now look at him now, right? He's kind of a joke still that came from that Vine era. But if you look at the consistency of someone's character, like Salt Bae, the nigga just don't add up. And you suck at cooking and your restaurant sucks and the people you hire suck. That tells a lot about you. You just suck all around. But let me know what you think in the comments below. It's your boy Fat Man. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, be notified. And for me to you, remember to never give up, never surrender, and keep on grinding, baby. Also, I got a new chair. So, you know, the old one is sitting in the corner. But hopefully you stick around for the channel and like and let me know what you think of this video. And honestly, let me know what you think of the gimmick called Salt Bae. And did the internet go too far with this one? Peace and I'm out.
Shit.
Getting bit on drum.
When's the last one?
You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
When's the last
Some
one?
of you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like all them niggas. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story, so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.